Well, good morning, friends. Today we're going to be growing some purple of Sicily cauliflower together. Be right back. Oh, well, welcome back, friends. Miss Nancy put in another request this year. She wants some more of this purple of Sicily cauliflower. And we grew this a couple years ago, and she was really fond of it. She loves the color of it, and the taste is really nice. So I got a tray here set up to get started with the seeds. The seeds, I bought these seeds at Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. So if you want to maybe try some of this at home this year in your fall garden, check out Baker Creek. They have a wide selection of all kinds of really cool vegetables to choose from. So anyway, we got these started into seed starting trays. I'm gonna grow these out in the earth bed, and I thought that maybe I'd just put a couple in a couple of 5-gallon buckets just in case you may want to do it that way as well. So we got them started. Let's get them over in the seed starting racks over there and get these little rascals germinating. Well, there we go. Got the purple of Sicily cauliflower in the seed starting rack, off and running. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We'll take a look at the progress of these seedlings, and we'll follow this video from seed to harvest all the way through the whole procedure. So stick with us. We'll be back shortly. Well, welcome back. It's been 21 days since we started our purple of Sicily cauliflower, and the seedlings have emerged. They've got some good true leaves on them. However, they are a little bit leggy and a little bit small for what I want. And what happens is when I get seedlings this time of the year in the fall, and they seem to be stalled and not moving forward and not flourishing, they most likely have outgrown the little cells that they're in. They're just not getting enough nutrients. So at that point, I want to step it up into a bigger container. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to step these up into some 1-gallon containers and get them over here on the grow out table over here so that they can get full morning sun, full noonday sun, and afternoon shade, because the tall pine trees on my west side of my property here shade that little grow table, so it protects them from that damaging heat in the afternoons while I'm waiting on the fall temperatures to arrive and go down some. So let's step over here to the planting table and let's get these things stepped up. Okay. What I've done is I've pulled out some 1-gallon containers. These are the size containers that I'm going to be using. You can get these containers at zenhydro.com. I bought these at Greenhouse Megastore, and both places are a good place to get them, and they're worth the investment, especially on a day like this. So what I've done is I've mixed up my regular old container mix that I normally use when I plant anything in containers, and that's really essentially what I'm doing when I step it up. And if you haven't seen any of our videos on stepping up a seedling, we got a video that we released recently. It's called Stepping Up Seedlings. Go take a look at that. It's a fairly good tutorial on how to step up your little seedlings and how and why and all that good stuff. So go check out that video on our channel, and maybe it'll help you pick up a few pointers. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these containers up to the top with my container soil. And of course we have a video on that on our channel on how to make this at home. And that's what I did today. I got this all made, and I'm going to get the containers transplanted. So let me get some soil. I just fill it right up to the top. Okay, step on up here and let's take a closer look at this little procedure. Okay, we're ready to go here. Here's our little seedlings. As you can see, some of them are really puny. They're just not getting it, you know, and here's a couple on this side, you know, they did fairly good, but it's just not where I want it to be. And they look like they're having a little bit of a struggle. So I want to get them out of these little containers and get them over here into a little bit larger container like this, so that I can add some fertilizer in here with it to boost this this plant growth. So let me demonstrate what I'm going to do. I get my my little 1 gallon container filled up with my container mix up to about, you know, about an inch below the rim. Then I insert a hole with my hand, and I want to add about a tablespoon of bone meal right in the hole. That bone meal will promote root growth because it's a natural organic phosphorus, and I want to promote the root growth and have a robust root system in this little pot. Next thing I do is I add about a tablespoon of blood meal. That's going to help with the foliage. So if I have a good healthy root system taking up these nutrients out of the pot, and the blood meal is on the top pushing up the foliage, I'm going to get an overall healthy plant. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to take this little seedling, this poor little puny little seedling out of here. And as you can see, I've got two seedlings in the same cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the weak one. Take it right out of there. I pinch it right off. Now I'm down to 1 plant. I put it right in the hole, and I put it in just a little bit deeper simply because they look like they're a little bit on the leggy side. We've had a lot of foggy days and overcast days here, so I haven't really had a pretty brilliant sunshiny day like I was really hoping for while these were growing. So that's what results in leggy plants. So there we go. Now I got the plant in. I take a little bit of my soil and I tuck in the little seedling around it to try to support it better. Since it's leggy, I go a little deeper, and that can rescue that little leggy plant. There we go, packed in fairly tight, snug as a bug, and it's ready to get over to the grow table, and let's see if we can't get this thing going. Okay, well, let me get the rest of these done, and I'll meet you over at the grow out table. Okay, there we go. We've got our plants set out over here on the little grow out table, and I've got them transplanted into the stepped up pots. So we'll be keeping our eye on this in the days ahead as these continue to mature. And once I get a nice robust root system and some really good looking foliage and rescue these little leggy seedlings, we'll go ahead and get them transplanted out into the earth bed so they can mature for some tasty dishes that Miss Nancy's gonna make. So we'll be back in a few weeks and we'll take another look at the progress of these little seedlings, and look forward to seeing you then.
It's cold.
It's cold out here today. Well, welcome back, friends. We started our seedlings and stepped them up. It's been 21 days since we stepped them up, and you remember how little they were. They've done really pretty good if you take a look at them. Just in 21 days, those things have made a remarkable improvement. So today, these guys are ready to be transplanted out in the earth bed. So we're going to be taking these from here, from the little grow table over to the earth bed, and we're going to use a fish head in each hole to fertilize these beautiful little purple of Sicily cauliflower. And the earth bed is still pretty rich with the black cow from the spring garden. So today we don't have to amend it with the black cow, because the black cow really lasted well this summer, and it can last well through the fall. So we don't have to add the cow. But I am going to add some triple 10 fertilizer just along the row and incorporate that in to give it just a little bit of amendment to boost it on through, because these cauliflowers are heavy feeders. So they're going to need a little bit of help, because my sandy soil just simply doesn't have the nutrients to support what these things are going to need to flourish. So we give it a little triple 10. We'll incorporate that into the soil with the cultivator. We'll smooth it out, put in the fish, and then inside the hole with the fish, we're also going to put in, a good handful of blood meal as well as bone meal. We want both. I want the bone meal to boost the phosphorus to give us plenty of nice root growth. We've got a robust root system in these from being stepped up, but if I give them a little over here, that'll give them another good jump start, a good bump, give them good root system, give them the blood meal to give them a little pop of nitrogen, which is going to push the foliage. And with the foliage growing and the roots growing, it can take up these nutrients to the plant. And about the time that it really needs to really get going good, the fish has started to decompose enough to where those nutrients are all in the soil, and those roots reach down and get a hold of those nutrients and take them right up through the plant. So at that point, we should be able to really see a remarkable jump in these plants. I can always tell when it hits that fish, because it just explodes, all like in a week. It just boom, So let's get these things in today. I think we're going to go ahead and stake these up while we're at it with the bamboo stakes, because you know that these cauliflowers are going to get top heavy with those big old cauliflower heads on there, and the wind is coming in the fall. So we'll go ahead and stake them now while they're nice and young like this, and let them grow into those stakes. So it's a pretty big day. We got enough to do at least 2 rows, so I want to get 2 rows in and enjoy this beautiful purple of Sicily cauliflower and some delicious cuisine.
All right.
Now let's get started. Well, there we go. We got the 2 rows of purple of Sicily cauliflower installed and staked, fertilized, ready to go. So today these plants are actually 6 weeks old since the day we started them from seed till today. So this is actually the 6-week point, and stepping them up into the 1-gallon containers really provided some really great roots in there. So I think these are going to do just dandy. So we'll be back in a few weeks. We'll keep our eye on these things as they develop all the way out to she does something in the kitchen with them. So we'll see you soon.
All right.
Well, welcome back, Homestead family. It's been 7 weeks since we started our purple of Sicily cauliflower from seed, and they've been doing pretty well out here in the earth bed. And today I need to do a little bit of maintenance on these fellers to give them a little bump. They've rooted in well since being transplanted out here from the starter cups. They're making some really good progress. So today I'm going to side dress these 2 rows with some 10-10-10 triple 10 balanced fertilizer. Remember, these cauliflowers are really heavy feeders, so my little sandy soil here just ain't going to really quite get the job done. We got some fish in the hole underneath here. That fish should be getting right about to the point in about a week or so where that's going to hit that perfect point that those roots can hit that decaying fish down there, and we will see an explosion with that. But I'm going to go ahead and side dress these 2 rows with the triple 10 just to give them a little boost right now. I just want them to get a little pop. So I'm going to do that, and that will encourage the roots to dig, because the foliage will grow real quick with that triple 10, and the roots will dig down and it'll hit that fish. So I'm going to side dress it. I'm going to till it in with my cultivator down the side of the row, so I incorporate that triple 10 in with the soil so it's not in little clumps or hot spots. Once I have that done, then I'll heel up the row. I think they do better after I heel them, so I'm going to heel them after I get it all side dressed, and that'll put that fertilizer right in a good spot where I need it to be, evenly distributed. So let's get to work. Well, we got the job done. We got both rows side dressed and healed, and I went ahead and cultivated in between the rows, of course, for weed suppression. So this stand of cauliflower is set for at least 3 more weeks before I need to do anything at all to it. And at the end of that time, we'll come back and we'll take another look at it, see how she's progressed. We'll see you in a couple, 3 weeks. Well, welcome back, friends. It's been 16 days since we side dressed and healed up our purple of Sicily cauliflower, and our stand of cauliflower has just exploded. They're doing fantastic, beautiful, beautiful plants. They're not showing any cauliflower curd yet, so no heads are forming just yet, but we still got some more calendar left to do that. So far, so good. They're looking pretty good. We do have one challenge ahead of us. This is just a couple of days away from Christmas here, and we've got a storm predicted to come in the tomorrow night actually, and it's going to be some severe Arctic blast, and actually the temperatures predicted for our area is the lowest it's been since 1983. So it's really not looking too good. We've got 3 days forecast of, lower 20s, and that's almost unheard of here in our area, but it does happen, and it's just part of gardening. There's just some things that are beyond your control. So this is where we're at right now. We're hoping that we'll be able to survive this. That's a pretty big challenge, a hard freeze 3 in a row. That's not too good. But we'll be back in a few, maybe a week or so. We'll take a look at if these things are going to be able to recover and survive, because there's really some more seasonable weather after that. We'll take a look at where we're at, and hopefully we'll be able to take this all the way to harvest. See you back in about a week. Well, welcome back, my friends. I reckon that 2022 Christmas hard freeze will be one that we'll be talking about for many years. We had 3 nights that it went down to 20 degrees. One night it was 21 degrees, and the other 2 nights it was 22 degrees. But they were long periods of time of a freeze, so it was, a bona fide hard freeze, which is pretty hard for us down here in Florida, but it was especially hard on all us guys that were trying to grow a fall garden this year. So my brassicas, they really took a pounding. Usually your brassicas, like your broccolis, your cauliflower, cabbage, stuff like that, they can go down to about 26 degrees really with no problem. But as you can see, taking a look up close, these guys just held on the best they could, and they just finally gave up. We had those 3 nights in the 20-degree mark, but that 4th day we came up out of the hard freeze area. We got up to about 29 or 30 degrees that night, but when I got up on the 4th day, we had a real heavy frost, and Buddy, whatever managed to try to get through those 3 hard freezes, the heavy frost took them out. So you can see that these guys, they tried to do the best they could, but they just didn't make it. Take a look at one up here. And that guy's gone. He's not going to recover. There is just absolutely too much cell damage in those leaves from the frost and the freezes. So at this point, I just make the best out of this and just let it become chicken food and salvage what I can for for the chickens. So I guess it's a real disappointment, but you know, you got to always keep in mind in gardening, this kind of stuff happens. It's beyond your control, and all you can do is just roll with it. So, you know, this is a total crop failure due to frost and freeze. So the saddest part about it is, you know, I let you down on the video, but what I'll do is I'll just make this a part 1 of the video, and we'll try this again next year, and we'll call it part 2, and we'll try to pick up where we left off next year with another stand of this beautiful purple of Sicily cauliflower, because I really wanted you to see it. It might be one you'd like to try, and I've been looking forward to getting it on the plate. So we'll be back next year and we'll do this again. So until me and Nancy see you next time on part 2, always remember, by his hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day.
Well, today's video is sponsored by Black Gold Compost Company. Thank you for sponsoring our channel.